All right, today we're going to get to know a real giant of the forest. We're going to build its profile, piece by piece, so we can really understand this tree that's as beautiful and useful as it is, unfortunately, endangered. This is the story of the Ching.
So let me just ask you, have you ever really been introduced to this tree? I mean, it's kind of like a quiet celebrity, often living in the shadow of its more famous cousin, but its story is just incredible, one of strength, healing, and a real fight for survival. So let's make things official. We'll call it Ching, but like any big star, it's got a few other names. Here it is, the official profile of Dalbergia oliveri.
Okay, so here are the basics. Scientifically, it's Dalbergia oliveri, but you'll also hear it called blackwood, or sometimes just rosewood. It's most at home in the deciduous and dry evergreen forests all across Southeast Asia. It's a true icon of the region.
Now, every story's got a little bit of drama, right? Well, for the Ching tree, it's this classic case of mistaken identity, and it's all thanks to its very, very famous relative.
And look, this is way more than just a simple mix-up. People are constantly mistaking Ching for Siamese rosewood, or Peiyang as they call it locally. And this confusion, it's a huge problem. It actually fuels illegal logging and makes trying to protect these trees incredibly difficult. So telling them apart is absolutely critical. So how do you even tell the difference? Well, botanists are like detectives. They look for clues. And the fruit pods, they're a dead giveaway. The Chanchan's pod is way bigger, and it's got this really distinct hard bump right over the seed. You compare that to the Paoyang's pod, it's smaller, thin, and flat. It's one of the best clues for telling these two apart in the wild.
But the real proof, the smoking gun, is on the inside. If you look at a cross-section of the wood, yeah, they might look kind of similar at first, but for an expert, a real wood detective, the way the cells and pores are arranged, they're like unique fingerprints. They tell the true story every single time. So, moving past the whole identity crisis thing, this tree has such a rich history with people. It's a source of just incredible beauty, but also of traditional healing. A tree of many talents, for sure.
I mean, the wood itself is just stunning. It's so sought after, it's incredibly dense, it's got these deep, rich colors and these really intricate patterns in the grain, and all of that makes it a top choice for luxury furniture, musical instruments, and really detailed construction work.
But its value isn't just about how it looks. For generations, people have relied on the Ching for traditional medicine. The heartwood was used to make a kind of restorative tonic, and the bark could be boiled down to create a wash to help heal wounds that just wouldn't go away. It's a tree that truly builds and heals. Okay, so we know it's beautiful, but what actually makes it so strong and reliable? Let's geek out for a second and dive into the science behind its legendary quality.
So what's the secret, right? What are the actual physical properties that make a piece of Chingchan furniture last for centuries when other woods would just warp or crack? Okay. The first secret is something called specific gravity. Now, that sounds super technical, but it's really just a measure of density. Chingchan wood has a really high specific gravity, which just means it's packed super tight with wood fiber. It's heavy, it's solid, and that density is the foundation of its amazing durability. And its second superpower? Dimensional stability. This is the wood's amazing natural talent for just holding its shape. It doesn't really shrink or swell or warp when the humidity goes up and down. And that's why a guitar or a table made from Chingchan stays perfectly true for generations. But here's the tragic twist. All of this value, its beauty, its strength, its usefulness, has put the Chingchan tree in a really, really dangerous spot. This prized treasure is now in a desperate fight for its own survival.
And there's really no easy way to put this. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, the IUCN, has officially listed Dalbergia oliveri as endangered. The very things that make it so special have become its greatest weaknesses.
This is where science and law enforcement have to team up. See, to protect trees like Chingchan, you can't just patrol the forests. You have to be able to identify the wood after it's been cut, sometimes long after. You basically have to become a wood detective. And this is the detective's toolkit. It's pretty simple, isn't it? A super sharp blade to get a perfectly clean surface, and a hand lens, which is basically a small, powerful magnifying glass to see the wood's deepest secrets.
So here's how it works. The expert makes this really precise, clean slice across the grain. The idea isn't to hack through it, but to shave off a paper-thin layer from the top. That creates the perfect surface to see the wood's real anatomy.
And this is what they see. Under that little lens, the whole structure just pops. The size, the shape, the pattern of the pores, and all the cells around them, that creates that unmistakable fingerprint we talked about earlier. This is the hard evidence that can tell Ching Chan apart from any imposter, and it's solid enough to hold up in court.
And if you need to understand just how high the stakes are, just look at this number. In just 6 years, the population of its cousin, Siamese rosewood, is estimated to have dropped by 67% in Thailand alone. It's a terrifying preview of what could easily happen to the Ching Chan if things don't change.
So, okay, we've been introduced, we know its name, its family drama, its special talents, and the incredible danger it's in. The final question really isn't about the tree anymore. It's about us. What part do we play in making sure this isn't the final chapter of its story?